Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the Humble Servant Homestead. So early this morning, we are out here to get started where we left off at yesterday, guys. And as you all know, we are out here digging these potatoes because they have to come up out of the ground. And so, you know what? Hey, we got an early start this morning. I haven't completed all my chores just as yet because guess what? I am trying to beat the sun, which is coming up from the east and is already shining on my face, but it's not as hot as the peak of the day, guys. So, you know, we're going to take advantage of this early morning here to get these potatoes out of the ground. So, just a quick recap. Yesterday, we came on in and we got right at about half of the row knocked out, and I want to say we did that in about an hour and 30 minutes, somewhere around there. I want probably about 2 hours.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably about hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. So we're going to come on in and we're going to go ahead and get started, guys.
We're going to continue. Now, how you got to measure this bed because
right.
Let's see here, guys. I'm gonna give you a little shot. And I sound a little raspy because I went to sleep. I think I laid down about maybe 2 o'clock this morning, and we are back up and out here at 7:30. So
yep, somewhere around
your sister
there.
had a little nap.
Right. But guess what? The work still got to get done.
Work still has to get done.
The potatoes got to come up out of the ground.
Absolutely.
So, you know, hey, we'll catch up on the rest sometime.
Yeah.
Tonight, okay, but
preferably.
So
yeah, let's get it.
What? Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Let's get into it. Okay.
And so yesterday we left off trying to locate where the Yukon golds start. And we have deduced that they start here where this greenery is. So you still have 1/4 section here before you reach the Yukon golds. Yeah. So we're still into the red Norland territory.
Still in the red Norland territory?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Look at there.
Beautiful.
Not bad at all. It's not bad. Ooh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that. And guess what? Ooh, okay.
Soil texture this morning versus yesterday when you were digging.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. You have to understand just about this whole entire bed right here. You know, with the goat manure, you gotta understand they have quite a bit of you know, organic matter in it.
Okay.
So it's going to break down. And so when it breaks down, it's going to drop. So what I would continuously do, I would come on in and keep on adding more you know, goat manure or compost
on top.
I'm saying goat manure, guys, but when I bring it in,
it's broken down.
It's already broken down. It's already been compost down. So
should we be saying compost?
Yeah,
or they should know what we mean when we say goat manure. It's not in its fresh, straight out of the goat pen state. It's set and broken down, and so it's organic matter or compost at that point when it's added.
Right, absolutely.
Gotcha.
So, you know, the texture is the same.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, there's some good stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised at the amount of potatoes coming from here because I didn't expect much, given that the foliage started to die back rather quickly.
Oh yeah, it died back pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, but as y'all can see, but you know, that's one of the things with Are
those grapevine roots? What is it?
Yeah, that's grapevine. Well, muscadine.
Muscadine, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing with potatoes. You have to understand that pretty much once they start growing, if they're right at about 2 months in the ground, you can actually start coming out and start pulling tubers.
Oh, okay, to eat.
To eat, yeah. So, you know, they're not going to be of great size. Oops. They're not going to be of great size, but you will still able to get some food.
They're edible.
Right. And so these right here, they didn't actually get the 90 days to about 100 or so days in the ground.
Right.
Like they typically do. But as you can see, we're still getting
a decent amount.
A pretty good harvest out of the soil. And so that's a good thing.
It's a blessing.
Oh yeah. And one of the things that we're gonna have to do, because you know I was waiting on this soil to dry out, and it's about there with being dried out to come in and harvest these potatoes. But I don't want to keep this soil too dry, you know, and with the summer heat that is up on us, trust me, we're gonna have to do a lot of watering to keep it moist. Plus, what we're gonna do, we're going to come on in with some hay on the top, just to go ahead and keep the moisture into the soil.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
How long ago has it been since we planted celery here? 2 years, 3 years?
Well, yeah, this is probably going on second year.
Because there's a tag. There was a celery tag under the...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Celery in the ground. And look at there. Got a little grub, so when I come across them, I just go ahead and crush their head. So that way, you know, we'll shut them on down. Because we don't want them breeding up in here.
No.
Look at this, a lot in this area.
It seems like a little honey hole.
Yeah. We're digging for gold, y'all. Okay. So I guess this is the row right in here where there's that vine. And from what I'm looking at, we almost have another, I guess that's a seed potato. Just buried one. Ah, look at it. I just said I just buried one, and I came right in and poked them. Another. And from what it looks like we're about to fill up another container here.
I see.
Look at there, guys. All them worms.
Nice.
That's how you know you got some real good soil. When you can come on in and find worms.
Some real good fishing material.
Right? And one of the material that helps to break organic matter down in the soil as well. You know, so I'm hitting actually a lot of root in this area, and that's also coming from them elderberries
Okay.
as
No, that's not gonna make them germinate over here, is it?
well.
Preferably not.
Yeah, but I think they will
Okay.
eventually. But I'm gonna cut them on back too, you know, because I actually had to tie them up to get over here into these walkway,
Mhm.
because it was just laid all out.
Okay.
Oh wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, like we say, potato is a survival food, y'all. It's actually not that hard to grow potatoes. You know, to me, it's like almost one of the
Easiest.
easiest crop to grow.
Mhm.
So it's not hard at all,
No.
you know.
So definitely a necessity here every year.
Absolutely, you know. So we're gonna put these Yukon Gold
Okay. In
in
another
here.
beer.
And like I said, we have these Yukon Gold, you know, they actually start chitting. But what we're gonna do is, for the ones that are chitting, like we said in the previous video, we're going to go ahead and hold on to the smaller ones, and we're gonna go ahead and plant them back on out in the fall. All right, look at that. And so yeah, oh wow.
Oh, you split it right in half.
Yeah. But
Nice
I'm gonna let it
size.
go ahead and scalve over,
Okay.
and those will also use them for seed potatoes. I mean, you know,
Okay.
I am digging with a fork, absolutely. That's not one, you can't run away from
Poking.
not poking a potato, but if I only poke, say, 1 or 2% out of all that I've dug,
Mhm.
that's not bad.
No, not at all.
You can't expect to come out here and get it all
Perfect.
perfect, you know? So that's all right with me. That is all right with me. I tell you what though, I think I'm harvesting more sweat than potatoes. You know, but hey.
Yeah, you glistening.
One of the thing is, guys, I'm gonna tell you like this. The Most High said by the sweat of your brow.
That's right.
You know, and being out here in the garden, look at my brow.
Mm.
It's like the scripture come to life. You can understand exactly what the Most High was saying.
Mm.
By the sweat of your brow, and I'm telling you, I got this sweat rolling down.
Rolling.
Rolling down the brow. You know, but guess what? I'm gonna eat.
That's right.
You know, we're gonna eat, guys. So it's all right. It is okay. Come on out here and
Yeah. And
bust a little sweat.
the kids, I'll go and wake them up about 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Try to
Let them get a little sleep.
youngins. Yep.
It's summertime.
Try to let them get their little rest in.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did came on in yesterday and help us out a bunch. So we want them to go ahead and get their rest in. So, hey, they don't come out here looking groggy or cranky. Ooh, bro, come on out of there. And like I told my wife yesterday, I say, you know what? The Yukon Gold, not the Yukon Gold, the Red Norland, also the Yukon Gold. I like to plant those potatoes. You know?
Those are our two varieties.
That's right. Maybe next year we might
Add a third, but
add a third in.
we'll still grow those.
I think we did the what? We did the rustic
We did, yeah, russet.
at one point.
They didn't do so well for us though.
No, they didn't. And that's the thing. Find what's gonna
What works for you.
and produce for you guys.
Yeah. Not everything is gonna, work for everybody. That's a perfect example. We tried russet potatoes here, and out of those three varieties, the Red Norlands and the Yukon Gold, just did the best. They outperformed the russets by leaps and bounds. So those are the two varieties we've stuck with.
That's right. And that's why we keep them and grow them year after year. And if you notice, guys, I'm actually digging up little pieces of wood from out of this bed, because this is actually a yucca culture bed, where we have, wood and all that down at the bottom.
Some of the compost that we use to fill the bed. Or some of the organic matter.
Organic, yeah. And so some have been broken all the way down, and some is coming up. Look at there. And I have to, one of the things is I got to go back and do little second digs where I just came from, because sometimes I end up missing the potatoes. And I go back and dig, and it's like, hey, you almost forgot me. I'm like, no, I didn't. But we'll know if we forget them, because they'll come popping
They'll spring back up
in the fall.
Which will be right on time, because the rest of them are going to get planted anyway, right?
Ooh, look at that.
Beautiful.
That was a nice little eel right there.
Nice little cluster.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, I guess it's safe to say that, hey, that bin over there is full.
Yeah. Bin number 2 has reached its capacity.
So you might have to bring, broke one. You might have to bring the wheelbarrow on in.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Tell you what, baby. My hands are dirty. I need you to wipe my face.
Okay. I got you.
There you go. Get that sweat off the brow, you know. There we go.
There we go.
We're going to get back into it.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Just keep on giving, guys. Just keep on giving. Hitting roots down there, or trees rather. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. I'd love to say we got probably, between those 2 bins right there, we probably had a good, it's kind of hard to judge, but we at least had about 100 and some.
Yeah, well over 100 pounds.
Yeah, well over 100 pounds.
Potatoes
with
so
just
far.
those 2 bins. But look, man, I'm telling you, look at that, y'all. That's beautiful, man.
Yep.
To see that. You see, I'm sweating all the hard work that I've put inside of this garden. It's a blessing to be able to see that. To see the hard work being paid off.
The fruits of your labor.
The fruits of your labor. You know, so now let's go ahead and see if we can fill up bin number 3. And usually, Yukon Gold, they usually fill a bin pretty quick too. You know? Wow, look at that. I'm glad I went a little deeper there.
Pokes another.
Kick back just a little bit.
And I like that the dirt is not clinging onto the potatoes.
And that's why I wait to come on in and dig these potatoes. Because when we was getting all that rain, I came out here and test them, and they was actually clinging
Okay.
to the potatoes, you know. And it was one of those things like, you know what, Lord, I need to get them out of the ground. Simple reason why, with all that rain we're getting, didn't want the potatoes to
spoil
on the ground. But you know what? Didn't affect it at all. Didn't affect anything at all. So, oh, look at that. It's a little, look like an onion. All right, baby. I think we
out of red Northern territory.
Not just yet. I think we might have a little bit.
Okay.
Over on that side. And look at that mycelium right there in this garden. And what I've noticed, mycelium is good for your garden, but too much mycelium is not good for your garden. And with this other Yukon culture bed over here, what I did do, I put wood chips down on the bottom, and then I put wood down, then wood chips on top of the wood. But what I've noticed, as the wood chips break down, a lot of mycelium came in and pretty much like took over that side of the garden. That is why you see I had to come and take all of that on out to get rid of that mycelium.
That side of the garden, that Yukon culture bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over there. So, but which it worked out pretty good, because once I moved it and, you know, agitated and put it back there, the mycelium eventually just fizzle away. Dried
out.
You know.
And I think that was a question somebody had, because we were digging sweet potatoes at that time.
Right.
From the Yukon culture bed next door. And it was a lot of mycelium, and somebody asked what we were going to do with it.
Right.
And so the answer to that question was we removed a good amount of it. We removed most of it.
Absolutely. And so what we end up doing with all that dirt that we moved out, we came back on in and put it on our no-till beds, you know. And so it's actually working out really, really good, you know, because that soil is actually some pretty good soil. And what that's going to do is going to help to keep the top of the soil relatively moist, you know, or the dirt underneath moist. So kind of worked out. So that right here, Bruce. Man, I tell you, look at that, y'all.
Dirt is beautiful.
Some beautiful, beautiful soil. It's nice and black and just rich with organic matter.
I guess the chickens are saying they're ready.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's what it is. The eggs is burning they behind. They're ready to lay them eggs. They're calling the eggs. That's what they would say. When they hear them make that noise, they're calling the egg. tell you, life on the homestead, guys. One of the things I'm going to tell you, being here on the homestead, is you learn so much. You know, the only way you won't learn anything on a homestead is probably because you don't want to learn. You don't want to get out there and learn something. But we have learned so much here.
That's right.
You know, a lot of trials and error. Come on out of there. Oh, come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Oh, come on, Mike. It's all right. It's all right. Just try to make sure I get all of them out of there. And that's why it's also good to make sure you cure your potatoes, guys. And for those ones that were bruised, that could be a meal for tonight.
Yeah.
So it's not that
all is lost.
All hope is lost. You know.
Are you getting into Yukon gold territory?
Yep. We're finding gold, guys. We hit gold. We done hit gold over here on the Humble Servant Homestead. When I say hit gold, I'm talking about potato. Cause
I was gonna say it's not gold, right?
I don't want nobody come trying to knock on my door, talking about, oh, well, we heard you found gold on your property. Trust me. Even if it was gold on this property, you wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't know it.
Oh man! But just to let you know, it ain't none over here.
Right. None has been discovered.
No.
We're talking about edible gold.
That's right. The Yukon gold. Oh, Yukon. There's one right there on the side. I missed it. You're gonna roll back down in there. There you go. Got you now. Roll back on down in there with the dirt. I'm gonna tell you, these Yukon gold, man. Look at that.
Those are some long
when
vines.
the nutrients is just right, man, that's almost as tall as me.
Yeah.
When the nutrients is just right in the soil, man, these suckers, they grow. They grow.
Well, may under the dirt.
That's what we want to grow, right?
Yeah.
Not
be as vigorous as the vines on top.
And I believe that's the case. Cause you know what? Yukon gold really ain't never failed us yet.
No, that's why we grow them every year.
You know? They always give us something. Look at that. Look at that. Man, I'm sweating so much. I feel like something crawling on me.
Yeah.
And when I look to see what's running on me, guess what it is?
Sweat.
It's actually sweat, y'all. Oh, look at that. That's a nice one. That one don't have no chits, no nothing on it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Tell you what, them little small ones, if they come up on here, I'm just gonna push them to the side. Maybe the youngins can get them later on, but for me, that's gonna be a little bit.
That's not your focus.
Too time consuming.
Okay.
You know, if they're in the bed, I'm gonna take them out. But if they're still on the plant,
they'll just go to the side.
Yeah.
Okay. I know your little biting fly friends are back.
Oh, they're back?
Yes.
Man, it's all right too.
It's a little early in the morning for that, but
that's all right too. That one. Not as big as they typically used to be, you know, but I know why they're not as big, so hey, it's understandable. Look at that. That's not bad.
Not at all.
Got some nice little roasting size. Now, I know I did say I'm gonna let the kids get those off. Get to them. Ooh, look at that. That's why we grow Yukon Gold, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we grow them gold. Because they just keep on producing. It's like finding a little gold nugget. Look at that. You know? Finding a little gold nugget every time you move the fork. Ooh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Told you about them gold nuggets, y'all. That might be the name of this video, right?
What's that?
Pulling out gold nugget off the homestead, or something like we found gold nuggets.
Okay.
On the homestead. What you think?
Okay, we struck gold.
Or something like that. You think that might be a little bit of like a clickbait?
I was gonna say, well, yeah, we don't want to clickbait
we ain't
nobody.
Trying to click nobody now. We ain't trying to do that.
Not at all.
Just want you to come on in.
But we did strike gold.
But yeah, we did strike gold. So if you see something about gold in our, oh, look at there. If you see something about gold in the title, yeah, we did strike gold. It ain't the gold you're thinking about though.
Well, it needs to be the gold they're thinking about.
Yeah.
With what's going on in the world today, this needs to be the type of gold you're thinking about.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Because no matter what is going on, people still have to eat.
Man.
That's the one thing that is guaranteed day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
People have to eat.
That's right.
Are you seeing roly-poly activity?
No, not in here, not as yet. But early in the season though, they was here.
Okay.
You know. Yep. Yeah, you got to eat, y'all.
Now, are these vines right here that's in this walkway, are they running from the left or the right?
They're coming from both directions.
Okay.
But these ones look like they coming from over there.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they are long. Ooh, look at that. All right. Oh wow, look at that one. And these are funny growing potato right there. Oh, look at that. You know what though? With digging those, they actually look like they still
growing.
But like I said, y'all, I am going to take them on out. We're going to take them on out. Because they're dying back anyway.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, once the foliage die back on these potatoes, they're done.
It's time to harvest anyway.
Yeah, they're done.
Okay.
And we have majority of them that's already done bite the dust because it was thicker than this.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You keep digging and I'm going to go get the kids up.
Okay, all right.
And we'll be right back, guys.
All right, y'all stay tuned, y'all. Ooh, look at that.
Beautiful.
That's a nice one. That was a... All right. We're going to keep on digging.
Okay.
I tell you what, by the time you get back, camera lady, we might just maybe finish the row. What you think?
Okay.
Nah, I doubt. I think you'll be back before then.
I think so too. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so just to catch you all up, I ended up not even making it into the house to get the kids because I ended up having to take a phone call. So he filled up that bin there. He's on to this crate here, and we are just about at the end of this road anyway. So far we have those bins here out of this bed, and we'll eventually measure it to see how long it is, but those two bins there of red New Orleans, we have Yukon Gold here, Yukon Gold here, and we're gonna finish out this bed with Yukon Gold.
The gold. Tell you what though.
These vines are long.
Huh?
These vines are long.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's a weird shape for a Yukon Gold. You notice most of them usually is round.
Mm-hmm.
You know. It's a little long. And I tell you, if I had a gym membership,
It would be canceled.
and today was a day for me to go to the gym. I think I would have called out today. I don't know. It all depends on how I feel at the end of the day, right?
I think gardening is a free gym membership though.
Oh man.
You have a gym membership to your garden 1 and 2 and 3.
It's a lifetime membership.
Absolutely.
You know, because guess what? You got to eat. So therefore, you're going to always be out here in the garden.
Yeah, you get that work in.
You know? Look at that. I tell you what though, you know what they say, all good things have to come to an end. But it's the end for this row.
Right.
I tell you what, we're going to try and at least get a little bit of that row over there knocked out this morning. And what we'll eventually do is probably later on today, we'll come back on in and finish digging them.
Okay.
You know,
so our goal is to get both of these rows knocked out today?
Yeah, today. You know, hey, you got to get them out.
Okay.
We're going to get them on out. Even though they still have real nice foliage on them, we're going to take them out.
Okay.
Simple reason why, and I just poked that one. And so for all the ones that we poke, guys, like I said, they're not going to go to waste.
No.
Okay? Whether we use them, let them scab over, use them for seed potatoes, or we'll just go ahead and
eat them,
cook them.
Yeah.
That's probably what we end up doing anyway.
Yeah.
And so one of the things is, as soon as I get done here with these potatoes, one of the things you want to also note is once you harvest them, oh man, look at that big one. I didn't even know I poked it. But what you want to notice with these potatoes as well, when you harvest them, don't leave them in their bin like that, you know, bunched up on one another. You have to cure them, guys. If you don't, they will start getting gassy and they will start spoiling. And not only that, they will spoil the next potato next to them. So once we get done, especially with the sun shining on them right now, that shouldn't let them get toxic that quick. But once you get them to the curing rack, you want to make sure that there's no sunlight whatsoever coming on them. What I've also noticed too, if you got a little fan or something like that, it's good to have a fan blowing around in that room wherever they are, so that way you get a real nice good airflow. Okay,
so we need to hurry and get these out of the sun.
You know, like I said, they won't turn green that quick.
Okay.
You know, but yes, they do need to get on the curing rack. All right, look at that. And for some of them that have just a little, look at there, guys. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna show you something here. That's a pine, that's a piece of pine, but look at this. I want to show this to you. Look at that. Look at the moisture that's in this pine. Look at that. You know, but it also looked like oil as well too. You know, so hey, another thing. Look at what these roots did, guys. Because there's moisture in this piece of stick here. See what the roots went ahead and did? They tapped into the stick to get the moisture on out. That's why I tell you, you learn a lot in the garden. Excuse me.
Bless you.
But you actually got to get on out there and start working the garden, so you can learn the things that the garden have to offer.
Have to teach you.
Yes. So keep that in mind. Whoops. Almost poked that one. I don't think nobody will catch that right there, Bebs. Oh, come on.
And you poked it.
Look at that.
Mm.
Look at that. So let me pull back just a
We're
little
going to be
bit.
eating good today, guys. I think we're going to be making some mashed potatoes with those.
Yes, yes, yes. And that will definitely work.
I'm down to my last 2 ribeyes that I was holding on to for dear life. So yeah, I think I'll have some ribeyes and mashed potatoes today.
Okay.
And then I'll cook the kids something else.
Well, at least give them a little piece of the ribeye.
I don't know about that.
Let them at least let they get to stick their finger in the grease or something.
No.
No?
No. They'll have another protein source.
She say no, guys, but I usually find a way to let them get some. So
I think I have a pack of strip steaks for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been holding on to it until I can come across a way to re-up on my stash in the freezer for my steaks. And my neighbor doesn't want to part ways with any right now, so.
Well.
I think I'll ask again, though it's been a minute. They may have come across some that they're willing to part ways with. And that's the one thing, guys. Totally off topic, but definitely on topic as well. Get to know a local farmer. Be familiar with where your food comes from.
That's right.
For example, we do not currently have cows, but I get our beef sourced very locally. And so I barter for whatever we need, beef-wise, steaks and ground beef, and I know exactly where it comes from. I haven't bought beef from the store in years, unless it's my ribeye steaks that I get in one big slab and then cut them ourselves. So other than that, I don't purchase beef from the store. I get it locally sourced. And I suggest you do the same. Know where your food is coming from.
That's right. You know, and it's one of them things. If it's a farmer that's growing it and they're eating it, you know that, hey, 9 times out of 10, they're doing what they're supposed to do to make sure that it can be consumed by them. So,
right.
You know,
they have the best practices for themselves.
Right. Look at that. Done fill that bin up right there just that quick.
Just that quick.
Just that quick.
So you'll have to use the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, for that other row.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how many bins we actually had last year?
I don't even know.
Come on.
Oh, you're poking the good potatoes.
Yeah,
well, that's fine. It adds to the pot of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, like I said, take them to the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
and make them do what they do.
This was a giving bed all the way from beginning to end.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, that's what make this thing fun, y'all. Coming to dig these potatoes, you know. There's actually not a dull moment in between digging.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you dig something, guess what? You may not get nothing on that first dig, you know, but that second dig, please believe. Look at that. Something is coming.
Mm-hmm. It's excitement in every scoop. And what kind of root is that?
That
Elderberry?
right there is your elderberry root.
Oh.
And I'm starting to think, baby. I know you love your elderberry right there in that spot. Well, we may have to eventually revamp.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't plant them there, right?
No, we
Those
didn't.
popped up.
Yeah, these
And it was
yeah.
ironic that they popped up on the fence line. And so let's talk about those elderberries. My goal is to try and harvest as many elderberry as I can this year.
Before the birds get to them?
Yeah. Because I didn't get a chance. It rained, guys, so much. I didn't get a chance to make as much elderflower cordial as I would have liked. I'm down to my last half gallon. And I'm not even, wow, 3/4 into the year. A quarter into the year, a fourth into the year. And so my goal this year is to harvest as much elderberry as I can. And so that way, next year, I could harvest a lot of elder flowers instead of letting them have to go to berries. So my goal is to make up this year for elder berries for this year and enough for next year so that I could harvest most of these clusters for elder flower to make cordial next year.
And so what we could do is we probably cut them back a little bit, but for next year,
Cut them down.
Look at that. Of course, you know this is off topic, guys, but look at all them berries.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Loaded all the way down. But what we could do for next year is we can kind of prune it back and let it go ahead and do its thing. And once you harvest the flowers,
cut
them down.
Yeah,
You know,
I like that idea.
At least you'll get something from them. You know.
So that's my goal. And I'm going to be doing a video, so stay tuned for that, about, well, I don't want to give it away because I notice sometimes when you say things, videos pop up other places.
It's all good. I mean,
well, it's fine. So I'll just do the video and then we'll talk about it at that time.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, but it has to do with foraging, what we're foraging and collecting this year. So, but yeah, and so I guess what, end of the row?
Yep, that is it.
End of this row.
Let me see if I'm missing anything down
Okay.
there. Oh,
you were.
Look at that. And I poked them a little bit. Well,
That's it.
That is it. Look at that. Tell you what, I'm not even going to. Tell you what, baby. Let me go ahead and bring all of them on down.
Okay.
To the end of this
the row.
So that way we can kind of see
what we're dealing with.
Now.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you one thing though. I know this sucker's gonna be heavy.
It's heavy.
Cause you can see it's
bulging.
Yeah. On 3. 1, 2, 3. You're picking heavy things up.
Bend with your knees.
Make sure you bend your knees and come on up.
Well, there you have it.
Put the load on your knees. Well, not on your knees, but on your legs.
Ooh.
Right? And not your back. Because guess what? If we don't do it like that, I wouldn't have been out here doing what I'm doing right now, because I would have been like this.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just saying, you know, it's always a way to do things.
You should get the bigger one first.
Get the bigger one first.
Yeah.
So it can be lighter when I come for the
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Lord. I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Woo.
I know who give the strength, guys. You may see me come out here and I have a bunch of strength and energy. But I can't claim it one bit. It's the
That's
Most High
right.
above that giveth it.
That's right.
And when I pray at night and I pray in the morning, well, when I pray in the morning, I'm going to tell you, because you learn so much about the Most High when you come out here in this garden. But also, what I learned, I want to also give it to you all, because it helps me, and I know that it will help you all as well. When you start your day off, y'all, make sure you go before the Most High and pray in the morning, thanking Him for waking you up this morning, starting you on your way, clothing you and keeping you in your right mind, also blessing you with a roof over your head. And when I get up in the morning, this is how I build a relationship with the Most High. I give Him thanks for all that He has given me. Even the things that He have not given me, I give Him thanks. And one of the things is just being patient. Sometimes you may pray today and you're looking for something tomorrow. That's not how the Most High works, because everything is on His timing. So just like these potatoes, that was on His timing when they got ready. So just make sure you start your day off with Christ, y'all. At 12 o'clock, I'll come back on in and pray again. And when the sun go down, or when I'm getting ready to lay my head down at night, guess what? I am thanking the Father for just sparing my life throughout the day. Because there's so many people that got up this morning and they went out. And guess what? They was not able to make it back in. And so I want to make sure that when I get up and I pray in the morning at noon, and when I go to bed, I want to make sure that my soul salvation is tied in Christ within those times. You know what I'm saying? And so that is how I do it. And I'm telling you, it works. It works for me. But also one of those things, guys, build faith with Christ. Okay? Man, I don't have a mustard seed out here, but look one up and see how small a mustard seed is. And when the Most High say you must have faith the size of a mustard seed, it's so small, it is so tiny. You understand? But that mustard seed go into the ground, and guess what? That mustard seed is able to go through that mustard seed have to go through so much to burst out of that shell, out of that pod, to be able to come into this world. You see what I'm saying? It went through bugs that's trying to come on in and attack it. Too much rain, maybe too much sun. The sun got so hot on it in its early stage to where it burned the leaves or kind of wilted. But guess what? That mustard seed had so much faith to where that it was able to push through all those trials and all those tribulation that it had to go through. And now it grow into that beautiful plant to where you're able to now come and harvest from that mustard plant. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same with us. We must make sure that we are that mustard seed, so that when you come out here and you're able to learn from these videos, you understand? It's because of the seed. And so that seed that I came from, that was good and instilled in me, I'm trying to do the same to instill in somebody else out there. And so just to let your light shine. All right. So nonetheless, I got one more bin to
Yes, you
pick on
do.
up.
Yes, you do.
You know, but guys, needless to say, the times that we are in, if you don't know who Christ is, now is the time to seek Him. Now is the time to look for Him, guys. Oftentimes I'll tell my brothers, somebody I may meet out on the road, I may give them a pamphlet or something of that nature. And it's like, hey, look at here. You don't have to know the whole Bible from front and back. Understand? But one thing you do need to do is to get to the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments. Live by those laws, statutes, and commandments. And the Most High will give you everything else that you need to navigate in this world. Okay? So that's it right there on that little nugget. You know, seek Christ out and seek Him out early, guys. You'll find out that life will be a whole lot easier. Okay? But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna, oh man, look at that.
Yeah. That's a
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting it.
And you know what, guys? I just want to say, Father, I am thankful. I am just thankful for the blessing. Because like I said, seed potatoes. These are what I came in and planted, guys. I planted these right here. And look at that. So that's why when I say get outside and grow something, if you don't get out there and grow anything, what will you get? Nothing. But when you get outside and you actually put something in the ground, that right there is what you can expect to get from what you put in. But we got one more row to get started on. I guess you could stay right there, camera lady. So we'll just head on down this row right here. And we're gonna start down here at this end, because guess what? It is so, I guess you would say, so peaceful in the garden, and it's just so, it's calming at times. And typically, look at it, she's running out. But typically, guys, I
No,
don't even
sir.
let chickens in my garden. But when I discovered that she come on in and just to lay her eggs and walk back on out,
What?
I just leave her alone. I just don't mess with her. So right here, we got 2
I
days
know
worth
you
of eggs
playing.
in here. And so once she lay the other one, we'll come on in and collect them. But you know, I hate that I'm gonna have to mess up her little comfort spot. You know, because like I said, at times I do come out here and find comfort inside this garden as well, because it's just peaceful. You know, it's peaceful. Um, you know, such as everywhere else here on the property, but it's a lot that you're able to see the Most High creation in here. You know, especially all around you. You know, so. But come on, we harvesting up some potatoes, guys. And if y'all remember how much these came on out into this row, but we're gonna get on over here and we're going to pull
Well, let me come on down.
down. Let's see what we're getting out of these rows.
Okay, so you're going to pile the vines behind you in the part what you dug out?
Woo, look at that, y'all. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all, and that is why I want to come and get them. If you notice, they are already trying to start shit, but that's all right. Well, I think we're getting them right on time. But look at that. Wow. And I'm going to tell you.
Don't bury the shovel.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell y'all, man, look at the size of those things. But I'm going to tell y'all, these potatoes right here didn't have a lot of time to grow.
No. And I was going to say, if you see all this greenery that's still on them, they're still in their growing phase.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you too, I know why they acting up like they do. Oh, it felt like I throw a potato back there.
Or a heavy vine.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you why they grow like they do in this bed right here, guys.
Why?
This bed is very, very rich.
It's fat.
It is, yeah.
Fat with nutrients. Okay.
But wow. Wow, look at that there, guys. Look at that. That wasn't bad for the first plant out the ground. We ain't even gotten anywhere yet.
It's fresh out the gate, right?
Man, look at that.
So now, do you think that they would have grown further down as well, since this bed is taller?
When you say further, well, you know what? It's a possibility, but if they do, they're gonna run into all that wood that I have down here.
Oh, okay.
But remember, like I said too.
There's one by your foot right there.
Right here?
No, by your foot.
Oh, no, that's the eggshell.
Oh, okay.
See, let's get on in. Maybe I didn't plant anything
this far down. Oh, wait a minute.
One. Ooh, look at that. Wow, you could tell this one didn't finish growing though. You see how white?
It's pale.
It's still, yeah, it's still pretty pale. Just want to make sure I get still chick out on the outskirts. Here go that mycelium, and it's coming from out of that wood chips, guys. Look at that. Bunch of mycelium.
Yeah.
And the reason why I stopped right in that area right here because I thought it stopped spreading. But as y'all can see, oh wow, look at that. Nice. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Wow.
Potatoes on there. Potatoes.
Oh, surely is. Good eyes, camera lady.
Two of them.
Oh wow.
No potato left behind, right?
No, we're not gonna leave none because we ain't trying to plant potato in this bed this year.
No. That was an experiment, right? Oh wow.
Sprout. But we're gonna pull them off like that, and she should be good to go.
It looks dark, feminine on this side. I'm gonna move to the other side.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.